Hey, Lynn Zettler here, and today I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about how we all make up stories and what's the difference between facts and stories and how we use those in conversations. But I'm also going to include a little PowerPoint here today because it will help illustrate and tell a story. So listen and watch what I've learned from one of my favorite coaches, Joan King. So let's start off just talking about using facts and how that comes into play when you're having conversations with people. So this is specifically about using facts when you're talking to people where opinions might be different. I'm going to reference a book called Crucial Conversations here, where they typically use these teachings for conversations that have a difference of opinion. Emotions can run high, and they're important items. They're important things to discuss. Those are called crucial conversations. And they start out by saying it's very important that you focus on facts when you're having those kinds of conversations. So I want to use that as the basis for today to talk through an example with you about how sometimes we don't use facts and how that affects what we're trying to achieve. This is an example I heard from a dear friend of mine who has since passed, Joan King, who was a wonderful master certified coach. And she gave this example of a person who's giving a pitch. So I want you to imagine that you are this person. You're giving a sales pitch to an organization and you're killing it. You are just hitting on all cylinders. You've made all your points. You can tell that people are very engaged and they're really enthusiastic about what you're giving them. Except for one person you notice in the back of the room, and there is this gentleman who keeps looking at his watch. He looks very agitated. He's not really paying attention. You're not sure what's going on, and you don't even know for sure who he is, but everyone else seems just fine. And then you notice that he starts to kind of pivot and move such that he's getting ready to leave. And he says very loudly, "Thank you for your presentation. I really appreciate that you came in. I'm sure we'll get back to you. My team will get back to you as soon as possible." And he leaves. And all of a sudden, everyone else in the room just starts gathering their pieces of paper as well and getting ready to leave the room. No one really says anything else to you. So right away, you're really confused. As I said, you weren't sure who he is, although he said his team, so you're assuming that he's the leader. So just as a review, I want you to take a minute, maybe pause this recording and read through the situation. Remember, he asked no questions, but he suggested that you should go ahead and send in a proposal. As you make your way towards your seat, you make a decision, and by the time you reach your seat, you decide that you're going to implement this decision. So I want you to think about, if you were this person, what would that decision be? We'll all have different answers, and I'll share mine as we go through the next little bit of information that I want to share with you. So I want to share with you what's happening, right? What's happening with all of us in this situation. We're using the ladder of inference. This is just our way of thinking. So the first thing that we have in this ladder is the world of observable data, right? What are the facts? We were in the room, people looked engaged, he looked agitated, he kept looking at his watch, you weren't sure. Those are observable pieces of data. But what we tend to do is then we filter things based on our belief systems. So our belief when someone's looking at their watch is that they're distracted and they're not really interested in what we're saying. We don't know that as a fact, but that's the filter kind of that we use. We're adding our own personal and cultural meaning because we've experienced this in the past, and it makes us make some assumptions. So my assumption would be, oh my gosh, he wasn't impressed at all. He wanted to get out of there really quickly. I'm really not even sure what to do next. And so I start drawing some conclusions. He's not interested. They're not interested. I'm not going to get this. So what is it that I want to do? Well, first I'm updating my beliefs, right? That when this happens, I'm reinforcing the beliefs I already have. And so again, not based on facts at all, but now I'm going to take an action based on those beliefs. The action I'm going to take is I want to get out of there as quickly as possible because I'm feeling a little humiliated. I've already decided that he's not interested, that they aren't going to use me, and why waste any more of my time? So this is what happens during this process. Our beliefs and assumptions get reinforced over and over again based on the things that happen to us. And that's how quickly we get away from facts. So as an update, I just want to share with you that this was a real, true story. The leader, who was the leader of the team, he wanted to be there to support his team, but he was also very distracted. His wife has breast cancer and they're awaiting some very critical results. And he knows what time it's coming in and he doesn't want to miss it. He wanted to be there for his wife as well. And so he was distracted, but he didn't tell his team that ahead of time. As I said, he just wanted to be there for them. So everyone, right? Everyone in that room can be making up their own story about what's really happening. But the reality was, it was something quite different. So make sure you think about that the next time you jump to some conclusions, and think about what other possibilities might there be. I hope you enjoyed that little tidbit of information and that helps you talk about and think about the conversations that you're going to have with people and how you can stick to the facts and not get sidelined or bogged down with your beliefs that may or may not be true. So for more information, more leadership tips and things, go to coreimpactcoaching.com and sign up for our newsletter there. We send things out once a month. Also, you can go to our YouTube video, our YouTube studio channel at Lynn Zettler Core Impact Coaching, and we've got lots of videos there as well. I hope you're having a great day and have a great week.